So we all know that imported goods come through either airway or by sea. Well, do you ever wonder what kind of planes they use to bring such a huge amount of goods? Well, today we've got ourselves an opportunity to discuss one of these freighter planes. The Boeing Dreamlifter is one of the largest cargo planes. This plane has an interesting story, which we'll discuss later in the video. So what's the wait? Let's get straight to it and start breaking down this plane. From its build to its features, we'll discuss everything thoroughly. Build and features. The Dreamlifter extends to a length of 235 feet and 2 inches and stands at a height of 70 feet 8 inches. It definitely is a humongous bird, won't you agree? Well, its wingspan stretches to 211 feet and 5 inches. We still don't think it's actually big, no way. The maximum weight this plane could carry while taking off amounts to an insane number. It can carry 364,235 kilograms or 803,001 pounds of weight. Now, the plane itself weighs 180,530 kilograms or 398,000 pounds. The maximum fuel this plane could carry at once is 52,609 US gallons or 199,150 liters. If this isn't crazy enough for you, I don't know what would be. You'll be stunned to know that this plane isn't just huge, but can also fly pretty fast. The maximum cruising speed for this plane has been recorded to be Mach 0.82, which is 878 kilometers per hour. Not only does it cruise really speedily, but it ascends quickly in the air as well. The Dreamlifter runs on 4 PW4062 engines. Now you can take a guess yourself as to how powerful these engines must be if they can make this monumentally sized plane get into the sky. The PW engines have always been considered quite reliable and trustworthy as per industry standards. Every single engine in this plane generates a thrust of 63,300 Newton per square meter. Well, whatever gets this plane going should understandably be this power only. The story behind it. The Boeing Dreamlifter was actually designed so that it could transport the Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft. What? An airplane carrier which itself is an airplane. Absolutely, spot on. David Beck, an engineer from Boeing, had this to say about the situation Boeing was facing when they were challenged with the issue of how to transport these parts safely. It was looked at closely, with a finalized issue duly presenting itself. Mr. Beck clarified that they were in a way forced to make this plane, and it wasn't easy to make this project a reality. They had considered transporting the parts through the sea routes. However, the parts were too big to be taken by ships and would have caused many safety issues. Thus, the company couldn't take that risk and had to come up with a solution on its own. The Boeing company developed this plane solely for the transportation of their Dreamliners. However, there is a catch to it. The Dreamlifter does not carry whole airplanes but unassembled parts of them. A plane that has only one purpose, which is to carry planes, is quite extraordinary. Boeing stated that initially 3 planes were used to make this single plane. However, once the production started, they had to include its huge stature, a little more gravitas, and 1 more plane. This aircraft in total have been made of 4 planes. This might be a little hard to digest, but it is what it is. This plane was initially named the Boeing 747 LCF. However, they changed its name to Boeing Dreamlifter because, you know, it lifts Dreamliners. This was a very smart play by the guys at Boeing. Why use older planes? The LCF isn't a Boeing inline product and would never be offered to any clients or see any airliner operation, and is only for Boeing's exclusive use. It is much cheaper for Boeing to shop for used 747s and convert them than to assemble those planes from scratch. Another motive for enhancing already existing planes is the minimal law and flight testing required by the government, inclusive of the Federal Aviation Administration. If the 747 LCF had been produced completely by Boeing, it had faced years of development and testing identically to the imminent Boeing 747. Older planes may be out of the scope of being used in service, but their use as a standard to map the capabilities of the upcoming planes cannot be replaced easily. Accidents. The Dreamlifter has been a part of quite a few accidents. Let's take a closer look at one of them. Something very unfortunate could have happened as on the 11th of October, 2022, Dreamlifter N718B, operated by Atlas Air, lost a wheel from its main landing gear while taking off from Taranto, Italy. While the wheel bounced outside the airport perimeter and ended up in a vineyard without damaging anything or harming anyone. The plane continued to Charleston in South Carolina and made a safe landing, which was nothing less than a miracle. To land a humongous plane like the Boeing Dreamlifter without a landing wheel is nothing less than a miracle at the very least. So even though nothing bad happened, this incident can't just be sidelined, because there was a major chance that it would have turned into a huge disaster.